Sports Interaction has you covered with all the odds on every playoff game. Every playoff game.
All of them?
Even the disinteresting ones like New York and Carolina.
No. That's where Dave Bassel comes on and goes, no, that's where the value is.
There are ads. Yeah, that's very true. And remember, you can make these bets before the game starts, live and in play, or how your favorite players perform. They're doing it right since 1997. Sports Interaction is Canada's sports book with the most competitive odds. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, easy to play, easy to cash out. Join now and see that all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly.
So the LFRs.
Yes.
You watch the Leafs game.
Yes.
You don't take notes, or you put down your thought triggers.
Sometimes.
And then you just go.
And then I just go.
So, because your line is, if it's important to remember, I'll remember it.
Yes, which is not always true, but I'm usually very good at it.
Okay.
I'm usually very good. It's once every 5 or 10 games I'll forget something, but like it's usually not like crucial to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just remember like silly friggin' mistakes that I've made over the years. Like here's an idea of like how tortured I am in remembering my own mistakes. There was a game, it might have even been LFR 1. It was LFR 1 or 2, and we're in LFR 15 now, where I looked at Jonas Frogren's ice time. Jonas Frogren, that's how far back we're going. I looked at Jonas Frogren's ice time, and he played it was 4 minutes, and I was like, why is he even in the lineup? He's a defenseman. That's stupid that he's taking up a roster spot if you're only going to play him that amount of time. And all the comments are like, he was hurt, Steve.
You're railing on a guy who's out with an injury.
It's just I missed it. It's like that dude from what was it, BBC oh yeah, there was a red card, and he's like, oh, I must have missed that.
I don't know that.
You don't know that famous clip? Oh,
No,
you've definitely seen it. Where they go to the sideline reporter to ask him about a red card that just happened in a soccer game.
Okay.
And he's like, there was? And he looks behind him and he's counting the players, and they're like, yeah, there was a red card. Count the players. There's not enough guys. He's like, yeah, no, I saw him go off, but I thought there was a sub.
That's a dude who needs to be better at his job.
He still works there. It's BBC or Sky Sports. I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah, he still has his job.
I watched it because now I'm into F1, so I watched all the races and all the practice and qualifying and that stuff. So I watch a lot of Sky Sports randomly now because that's who TSN usually rebroadcasts from. They're fantastic at what they do.
They do great television.
Oh, yeah.
In Britain. Yeah, they do great television.
Yeah, British TV, they've nailed it. Okay, so follow up with your LFR.
Sorry.
So you go just off the top of your dome like Jay-Z. You freestyle into the camera.
Yep.
So the way, because it's beautiful products.
Oh goodness,
it's a beautiful product. But in the end, it kind of has like a story, the story of the game. It's all outlined there in kind of segments as well. It's beautifully done.
Too long, some might say. But
sometimes it's like 20 minutes. Sometimes it's 10. Who knows? Is whatever.
I really try to keep it short.
How does Drew, your editor, producer Drew, who started this season editing the LFRs, how does he feel about the way it's shot? Because you do it where you're stopping and starting each chunk?
Not anymore.
How does that work?
Not anymore. So this is the first year ever where I haven't done that.
Okay, so explain what you used to do and then what you do now.
So what I used to do, and this would be easier editing for me, is I would shoot my take and I talk really fast. So sometimes I'll screw up once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I've screwed up like 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
If it's got to be, sometimes I'll shoot it and it's got to be super fast, but it's a super long thing I have to say. And if you see that and you're like, how the hell did he do that? Just know that it took me like 10 or 15 takes to actually get it. But what I would do is stop and start. I would upload all the clips into iMovie, not even a good editing software. It was iMovie. And I would just cut the top and tail. And I knew that the vast majority of the time, the last take in the clip is the good one.
Right.
There was the rare occasion where, like, this to me is far more impressive that I would remember this than any detail of the game. The video would have like 100 to 150 clips in it, and then I'd get to clip like 117, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I did 5 takes on this one. I got to take 4.
Damn.
Like, yeah. So I would do that. and just top and tail. I did that for the first like couple videos, and Drew was like, "Please stop." Yeah, please stop doing that.
Wow.
He said clap. So what I would do is I would clap. So I record the whole thing. And that's so counterintuitive for me because I have to send him the footage. And by recording one long thing, that's more footage and it's going to take longer to send to him.
Yeah.
But he said for him personally, his editing style or the software he uses or whatever, sending it all one take, and I'd go blah, 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 clap, blah, 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 clap. He said that's much easier.
Yeah, it sounds from the way I edit as well. I would prefer that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I think it's just because you have it all on the timeline.
Yeah.
And then you can just cut the space in between. I could just do shortcuts on my keyboard and just go along the timeline and just cut the spaces, and they'd all just clap together.
Right.
You know?
But then wouldn't you then also have all the mistakes? Like, how would you know what's a good take and what's a bad take?
Do you not always just do the last one?
Not always. This is the thing.
Right. So I don't know how he would do it. I don't know how he does it. Maybe we'll bring on Drew to talk about how to edit the LFR.
And it's tough for him because he doesn't get to ask me, "Hey, did you mean to do this or this?" Because I'm asleep.
Because you send it and then you go to bed because it's usually like midnight.
What's the whole point?
Yeah.
It's the whole point of getting someone to, I don't stay up and then, surf the internet till 4 a.m. because the whole thing was like, I want to be a functioning adult in society.
It was such a necessary step to get an editor. It's a great decision.
It's an unbelievable feeling. The fall was so nice because I was still getting used to it. And the amount of times I would shoot and I'd finish and I'd be like, fuck, now I got to edit. No, I don't. Hey. Now, the only problem is now I stay up until it's fully sent to Drew. But I used to just like click send and go to sleep. But there were 1 or 2 times where there'd be like an error. Or like, what if the power goes out?
Right. No, that makes staying up to see it send is just going to your kitchen and waiting around and leaving your computer. Like, you're not doing anything.
Playing Wordle.
I've never played Wordle.
It's a very fun game.
I don't really know what it is. I don't really care.
I enjoy it very much.
Okay, it's playing Wordle. It's not doing anything,
No.
So it's good.
Or playing video games sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's great. So
last 40 minutes.
Last question on this. So you'd have originally before this year, you have your 117 clips. Let's say
something like that. 200
clips. How long does that take you to edit? Once you're done shooting, how long would it take you to edit and get it to the upload part?
That's a good question. Oh man. So I had very tough editing decisions to make because a lot of those like rapid cut ones where like there was one where I pretended to like punch myself in the face with a hockey glove or if I superimpose like a photo, like all of that, they would be decisions in the moment where I go, ugh, this is going to be really funny and it's going to make the video better, but it's going to make my life harder. Like, this is going to be harder to do.
Especially because you're on iMovie.
Yes.
And it's very basic editing. And if you were in something like Premiere, you could probably do that in like 5 seconds.
Oh my God.
Like bringing in an image and putting it in iMovie on top of your video is a difficult task.
Dude, it's such a... And like the ones where like the image would go into a transition and oh man, well, like what a pain in the ass. And now I'll literally just tell Drew what to do. And he's so good at following those instructions because what I started to do as an editing technique, because it would just make certain clips funnier, is and like other YouTubers do it too. I would talk, and then
oh god,
zoom into my whoops.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
You hit the mic for anybody listening.
Zoom into I'm sure they heard. I would and then it would zoom into my face for like emphasis or something like that. And then zoom back out. And so I just tell him to do that now.
Just be like, hey, I want this here.
I'm surprised. So you know how I used to always leave my hand in? Because that would be an editing signal to myself, this is where an image goes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would miss it.
Right. Sometimes there would be in the LFR just a weird Steve has his hand up on the screen.
Yeah, I can't believe Drew has never accidentally left in like, okay, Drew, and now put this here. And then Drew here, so the picture's going to go here, and I'm going to point at it, and then it's got to go away.
That's because it's his job, and he's good at it.
Yeah, well, it's...
Imagine you had an editor who had a bunch of mistakes.
Well, watching Drew do his job made me realize this is not my job.
And you should have stopped it a long time ago.
It's like, you know how, like, some people are handy around the house, but you wouldn't necessarily pay them to do it. Like, I can change a tire. I am not getting hired by a mechanic.
You're not working at CAA and driving around changing tires.
I'm not getting a job at Midas. You know. Oh, so you changed your tire once at home? Yeah. Oh, and you were so proud that you called your dad? Yep. And you were how old? 27. Yeah, you're hired. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to do this segment. This is fun.
No. I really like these. I like these discussions. People should know how the sausage is made sometimes.